Okay, here we don't have a common denominator, but we can see that the common denominator is 4x. So we're going to have to multiply this by 4, so we multiply the top of this by 4 as well to get there. And so we're going to have 20 plus 9 all over 4x, which is going to be 29 over 4x. Okay, when determining the LCD, 18 is the smallest number that both 9 and 18 can go into. And when you look at the variables, you choose the larger exponent. So a cubed and b squared. Well, that's what this is already. So this first one we're not going to change. But on this second one, to get from 9ab to 18, we're going to have to multiply by 2 to get to 18, by a squared to get to a cubed, and by b. So we'll multiply the top by those things as well. And then, so we're going to have 7 minus, this becomes a 4a cubed b all over, oops, what did I do here? Excuse me, I made a mistake on the numerator. We're multiplying by 2a squared b. That I don't know what I just wrote in the top, but that's going to give us a 7 minus a 4 a squared b all over 18 a cubed b squared. And these are not like terms, so this is just going to be our final answer. Okay, here we have x minus 3, which is totally different than x. So the LCD is those two factors. Okay, now, so I'm going to have 3 over x minus 3 minus 1 over x. In order to make this look like this, I have to multiply by x. So I have to do the same thing to the numerator. To make this look like this, I have to multiply by x minus 3. So I do the same thing to the numerator. So in the numerator I have a 3x, and then I'm going to take this negative 1 and distribute it through, and I'll get negative 1x plus 3. Be careful, that's an easy place to make a mistake. Over x times x minus 3. So this will be 2x plus 3 over x times x minus 3, and that's all we can do. Okay, this is an entirely different factor than this, so the LCD is just the product of those two. So on the first fraction, we have 2x over x plus 4, plus, on the second fraction, we have 3x over, and we have x minus 7. Now notice I left the spacing because I'm anticipating. In order to make this look like this, I have to multiply by x minus 7. So I'm going to do that in the numerator as well, so I don't change the fraction. In order to make this look like this, I'm going to have to multiply by x plus 4. So I do that in the numerator as well, so as not to change the fraction. Then I'm going to distribute this, and we'll get 2x squared minus 14x. I'll take the positive 3 and distribute it, and I'll get a positive 3x squared plus 12x over, and 2x squared plus 3x squared is 5x squared. Negative 14 plus 2 is negative 2x. And that's the final answer. Alright, these already have a common denominator. Be careful, this is a minus, so this is going to distribute. So when I combine the numerators, I'm going to have a 7x plus 8, and then I'm going to take that negative and distribute it through, and I'll get a negative x minus 4. So this is the place where people will sometimes make a mistake. But now that's over the common denominator. Now I'm going to combine like terms. 7x minus 1x is 6x minus 4 over 3x plus 2. This is factorable. These are even so that we can take out a 2. Take out the 2 and we're left with 3x. Oh, wait a minute. This was a plus 4. So a positive 8 and a negative 4 give me a plus 4. So this is 3x plus 2 over 3x plus 2. And then we have a common factor. And so our final answer is just 2. Okay, this and this are opposites. So I can make this look like this by factoring out a negative. And I'm going to put that negative right there. So I'm going to have 3 over 2 minus t. And then this will become a 2 minus t by factoring out a negative. So we're going to have 3 minus 1 is 2 over 2 minus t. Now, another way to have done this was to make this look like this. In other words, put a negative 3 over t minus 2, but now it's a plus 1 over t minus 2. Negative 3 plus 1 is a negative 2 over t minus 2. These two answers are equivalent. Neither one is better than the other. They're both fine. Okay, these and these are opposite. So I can factor out a negative and I'll pop it right there. And so the first one I won't change, but I'll change this to an a minus b, and that'll take out a negative and I'll put it on this, making that a positive. So my final answer is a plus b over a minus b. Okay, before I decide what the LCD is, I'm going to factor both of these. So this first one's going to be 3 over, I'll take out a 5, and I'll have 2x plus 3 minus, and I'll take out 6, and I'll have 2x plus 3. So now my LCD, between 5 and 6, I'm going to get 30, but we still have the 2x plus 3. So that's the LCD. So in order to make this look like this, I'm going to have to multiply by 6, and I'll have to do that in the numerator as well. In order to make this look like this, I'm going to have to multiply by 5, so I'll do that to the numerator as well. So what I'm going to have is 18 minus 40 over my now common denominator of 30 times 2x plus 3. This is negative, let's see, 22 over 30 times 2x plus 3. And finally, I can cancel. 2 goes into this 11 times and into this 15 times. And if you want, you can keep the negative here, or you can pop it out front of the whole fraction. Either way, if you pop it out front, we'll have an 11 over 15 times 2x plus 3. But you could have kept the negative 11 in the numerator as well. That's it. Okay, I'm going to factor this. That's x plus 3, x minus 3. So the first fraction is 4 over x plus 3 minus x over x minus 3 minus 18 over, and I'll factor that as a difference of 2 squares. So our LCD is x plus 3, x minus 3. Oops. So here I have to multiply by x minus 3, so I'll do that in the numerator as well. Here I have to multiply by x plus 3, so I'll do that in the numerator as well. And the last one I don't have to do anything. So I'll take the 4 and distribute it and get 4x minus 12. Then I'm going to take the negative x and distribute that, and I'm going to get negative x squared minus 3x and minus 18 all over x plus 3, x minus 3. So I'm going to have negative x squared. Let's see, 4 minus 3 is a positive 1x, and negative 12 and negative 18 give me a negative 30 over x plus 3, x minus 3. And that's it. This is actually not factorable. It looks like it could be plus 5 and plus 6, but this is a negative leading coefficient. If you factor the negative out, that would become a plus 30, and then you'd realize there's no factors of 30 that add up to this. So this is prime, and it cannot be canceled. Okay, before deciding on the LCD on this, we need to factor. This is factored, but we need to factor this. And this is going to be t times t minus 2. Okay, now we have a 7 over t minus 2, and we have a minus 3 over t. So hopefully you can see that the LCD is t times t minus 2. So this has to be multiplied by a t to make it look like that. So we do the same thing to the top. This middle one doesn't have to change. This one on the right we have to multiply by t minus 2. And we do that to the top as well. So now we've got 7t. Now I'm going to take this of minus 6. And then I'm going to take this negative and distribute this through and get negative 3t plus 6 all over t times t minus 2. And I'll get 4t, the 6's go away, times t minus 2. And finally, I'll cancel a t from the top and bottom, so we end up with 4 over t minus 2. Okay, for number 54, we can't factor this, we can't factor this, but we can factor this. So when I write these, I'm going to write 5x over x minus 3 plus 2 over x plus 6 over, and I'll factor the x out, and we'll get x minus 3. So this is our common denominator. In order to make this look like this, we need to multiply by an x. So we multiply by an x there on top as well. To make this look like this, we need to multiply by x minus 3. So we multiply by that on the top as well. So now I've got 5x times x, which is 5x squared. Then I'll distribute the 2 and get plus 2x minus 6. And then we have plus 6 all over x times x minus 3. So this will be a 5x squared plus 2x over x times x minus 3, because the 6's go away. Now we can factor an x. So I take out an x, and we're left with 5x plus 2 over x times x minus 3, and we cancel the x's from the top and bottom, and we're left with 5x plus 2 over x minus 3. And that's it. Okay, this cannot be factored, that can't, but this can. So I'm going to write 5x over x plus 3 plus x plus 2 over x minus 6 over, and I'll factor that as this. Now, this is our LCD. So to make this look like this, I need to multiply by x. And if you do that in the denominator, you have to do that in the numerator as well. To make this look like this, we have to multiply by x plus 3. So we'll do that in the numerator as well. And the final one, we don't have to do anything. So this becomes 5x squared plus, here we're going to have to FOIL. Our first is x squared, the outer is a positive 3x, the inner is a positive 2x, and the last is a plus 6, and then we have minus 6. And this is now all over our common denominator of this. Okay, we have 5x squared. Let's see, 1x, 3x, and 2x, that adds up to 6x. And it's all over x times x plus 3. So we have a common x here. I'm going to factor out the x, and we'll get x times 5x plus 6 all over x times x plus 3. And we'll cancel the common x from the top and bottom. And we'll be left with 5x plus 6 over x plus 3. And that's our final answer. This is prime and cannot be factored. This is actually prime and cannot be factored, but this is the difference of two cubes. So I'm going to write 5 over, now I can tell what's about to happen, so I'm going to write my x plus 2 and leave a bunch of space in this fraction. And I'll write 2 over, and I'll have x squared minus 2x plus 4, and minus, and then here I'll have 60 over, and I'll factor this. This is x cubed plus 2 cubed. So this is the sum of two cubes, and we'll get a binomial times a trinomial. The binomial are the cube root items. The trinomial is going to go square product square. So x squared, the product is 2x, and 2 squared is 4, and then I'll use SOAP. Same, opposite, always positive. Now, to make this look like this, I'm going to multiply by x squared minus 2x plus 4, and I'll do that to the top and bottom as well. To the top as well. This next one, I'm going to have to multiply by x plus 2. So I'll do that to the top as well. And the last one, I don't have to do anything. So now I'll distribute my 5, and I'm going to get 5x squared minus 10x plus 20. I'll distribute the positive 2, and I'll get a positive 2x plus 4, and then I have minus 60 all over x plus 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 4. I'm going to combine like terms. 5x squared is by itself, and I have a negative 10x, and a positive 2 gives me a negative 8x, and I have a positive 20, positive 4, that's 24, minus 60, that's minus 36, all over x plus 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 4. Now, in order for me to see if this is simplifiable, I can see that this doesn't go into this, but this might. So I'm going to factor this, and I'm going to guess that this might be one of the factors. So when I do this, I'll have x plus 2 times, well, in my first position, I need 5x. And in my last position, I'll need a negative 18 to multiply to negative 36. This might be it. I got to double check the middle term, though. The outer gives me negative 18. The inner gives me a positive 10. Negative 18x and positive 10x really do add up to negative 8x. So this works. Now the bottom is x plus 2 and x squared minus 2x plus 4. So a little tip. I didn't know for sure how this was going to be factored, but I thought to myself, well, if this is not here, it doesn't matter how it's factored, because if this is not in here, it's not going to be able to cancel, and it won't matter anyway, even if it is factorable a different way. So I put this there, and then that zeroed me in on this. Anyway, I cancel this, and my final answer is 5x minus 18 over x squared minus 2x plus 4. Okay, this cannot be factored, that can't be factored, but this can. So I'm going to write this as 4x plus 1 over x plus 5. Let's do this. Minus 2 over x plus 10 over, and I'll factor that. We'll factor out the x, and we get x plus 5. So here we can see that this is the common denominator. In order to make this look like this, we need to multiply by x. So I'll do that in the numerator as well. To make this look like this, I need to multiply by x plus 5. So I do that in the numerator as well. Now I'm going to take this x and distribute it through, and I'll get 4x squared plus 1x. I'll take the negative and the 2 and distribute it through, and I'll get negative 2x minus 10. Be careful. This is where people will tend to make their mistake. And then finally, we have a plus 10. All of this is over x times x plus 5. All right, let's see. These disappear, and so I'm going to get 4x squared, and x minus 2x is negative x. I'm going to factor an x out of the numerator, and that leaves me with 4x minus 1. Oops, I forgot my x down here. And that's over x times x plus 5. And I'm going to cancel. This and this cancel, and I'll be left with 4x minus 1 over x plus 5. Okay, before I can decide on what LCD I have, I'm going to factor both of these. So this is going to be m minus 2 times m minus 2. Oops, what did I just do? M minus 2 times m minus 2. Let's put m minus 2. I could have put m minus 2 squared, or oops, I can't put both of those. I can do that. And here we have, I'm going to give myself a little bit of room. I'll do this. And then I have plus 3 over, and I'll factor the bottom of this, and this is going to be m plus 3 times m minus 2. Okay. Now, the common denominator, we have 2 of these and 1 of these. So in my denominator, I'll just write it off on the side here. My LCD, the denominator has to be m minus 2 times m minus 2 times m plus 3. If you prefer to write this as m minus 2 squared, you can. Anyway, to get this to look like this, I need to multiply by m plus 3. And I'll do that in the numerator as well. To get this to look like this, I need to multiply by m minus 2. So I'll do that in the numerator as well. Now I'll distribute this, and we're going to get 2m plus 6. I'll distribute this, and we'll get a positive 3m minus 6. And just to save space, I'm going to write this as m minus 2 squared times m plus 3, although you could have written it out like this as well. Now, plus 6 and minus 6 go away, and 2m plus 3m is 5m over m minus 2 squared times m plus 3. And nothing can cancel here, so that's our final answer. And that's it.